Hello, everyone, and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain. And today, sit a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my Tampa Bay Lightning historical challenge. Alright, and challenge we have been so far, and I know that I have opened up my videos with that quite a few times, but it's been kind of tough. We're having a pretty rotten year, sitting at 13, 22, and 4, and we are 10th in the East. Funny thing is that we're not even that far off from a playoff spot, but we have not been playing well, and Brian Bradley got hurt, and even though he's declining, he's still my first line center. So I don't really have anybody to replace him because I traded Jason Ellison away for Sandy Sazalinch, whom I've traded away for Brian Rafalski, whom is barely playing. So I have tried multiple times to fire my coach. My owner won't let me do that though, so kind of stuck a little bit, and well, that makes for a more challenging game play for sure. So it was brought up before we get into that. It was brought up by one of the viewers, Stoner Matt, that perhaps it would have been better if I would have completely tanked and do a proper rebuild by finishing among the last teams for quite a few years and then get good draft picks and whatnot. And there's definitely some validity in that. I didn't go that route though. Um, Thing is that when I took over the team is when Tampa Bay first came into the league, right? So they came at the same time as my favorite team, which is the Ottawa Senators. Now the thing is, and I've touched on that a few times among all of the videos for the different franchise hockey managers that I've made, is that Tampa Bay did a much better job at their expansion draft that the Sens did. I mean, the Sens wouldn't even grade an F. It was so shitty. They don't even deserve a grade. Tampa Bay, however, did pick up a few decent pieces, which because of that, I initially thought that it probably would be better to try to build with what we had from the start, since there's a few decent pieces to work with, and to work our way up from there. That's the decision I made. Now, just like any GM in the in the history of the NHL, I'm not perfect. I might be doing those videos that are teaching, kind of tutorial videos that are teaching you how to look at rounding up your team and having a competitive team and everything. But even then, that it's not a guarantee that it's always going to work 100% of the time. And as I went along, I made a couple mistakes. It happens. It has happened to pretty much any GM that has been a GM in hockey in their lives, so I don't feel like I am necessarily failing. Just that I just made a couple mistakes. So, probably my biggest one, and that was me trying to game the game, and I got bit. Probably my biggest mistake was to trade Roman Amerlik for Bill Guerin. Now, I do want to explain that at the time that I made the trade, there was something that I was not aware of. That's something that I figured out later on, is that when you do an historical challenge, recalc is on, which I never play with recalc. I don't like it. I never liked it in out of the park baseball either. I prefer to have a few surprises along the way with players that don't necessarily reach potential or exceed potential, so that you kind of get that little bit of a different feeling, if you would. And I came into this season and I didn't really think about that, because I'm so used to play without recalc. So I was like, okay. And for me, Roman Amerlik, in all of my playing around this era and everything, Roman Amerlik usually doesn't pan out. So I tried to trade him for a player that usually gives me, or if I don't get him, that usually for whoever he is playing, usually gives some interesting seasons, which is Bill Guerin. But that I got, I got screwed over that one. So definitely, that's probably on me. That's probably the biggest mistake I've made. Now Amaric is pretty good, and he plays with the Devils, and I could probably really use him right now. So anyway, that was a pretty long introduction. All that to say that sometimes you make a mistake and you don't really pay for the mistake until like 5 years later, and I think we have a pretty good example here. Now I'm not saying that with Amaric in the lineup we would have 30 wins or anything like that, but I do think that it contributes to my dismay. So we're gonna go ahead and ride out this season. I did look to see what's available in the trading block. There's nothing really, and I already chased some trades of my own that didn't quite pan out. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and slow down on that front. Maybe try to see if my team can build some chemistry and whatnot. But anyway, so that was the mid-year report for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's put it that way. That's why I had a super long introduction there. So we are going to be playing January of 1998 here. I do see a lot of home games on the schedule, so I am hoping that we can use some of those to kind of bolster our record a little bit more. But we'll see what happens. All right, so let's get going here. Also, just an aside that has absolutely nothing to do with this. Today, where I live, is the coldest day of the month, which, with my Canadian blood, I usually wouldn't care. But apparently, they decided that today, even though the cold was known to be here for at least a week, today is the day that they decided to do maintenance on the gas lines on my street. So we have no heat. So I am doing this video and it's 57 in my house. It's kind of cold. I'm wearing a sweatshirt and my fingers are frozen. So, if you hear me collapse or something, you're gonna know why. All right. But more than likely, it's probably gonna show in my voice because I'm kind of cold. Right, so Dean McCammon is back from suspension here in Chicago. Rem Murray also back from suspension with the Kings. And Art Williams is concerned. Yeah, we went 3-11 last month. So yeah, you should be concerned, buddy. I am. All right, so yeah, so Svensson we're not taking. We're playing Florida. Florida is 15, 20, and 6. That's good for 8 in the East, so it's the team we're kind of chasing right now. We played once against Florida this year, and we got torched 6-1. Now, this time it's going to be at home, so let's see if we can maybe enact some revenge. Right, so Blaine Laker is going to be the goaltender for Florida, and we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. Abibulin has been fine for the most part, so it's not really on him that we're mostly struggling to score goals. All right, so we did not make any progress towards 8th position. We tied against Florida, so I guess I'll take it, especially since, yeah, I'm really not sure why we're allowing so many shots on goals anymore. All right, so we were outshot 46-35. Teppo Numminen was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Richard Schmelik was the second star for Florida with a goal and an assist. And German Titov was a third star with an assist. 15,585 people in attendance for this game. So we had Teppo Numminen open up the scoring in the first from Mark Bergevin. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point, and we had a fight in the first period between Bobby Elick and Chris Dingman. And nobody scored in the second, and then we took a 2-0 lead in the third. Mikael Nylander scored from German Titov and Alexander Mogilny. It was 2-0, but then Florida tied the game, and then we went in overtime. And nobody scored, of course. So a 2-2 plain game to start the month here. I guess it's a point. We're so desperate for points, I guess I'll take it. Alright. And now we are going to be facing Anaheim. So the Ducks, or the Mighty Ducks, sorry, are 8-32-1, so they are worse than us. And we are 1-0 against Anaheim this season. We shut them out in Anaheim earlier in the year. Oh, looks like Brian Rafalski got hurt. He's day-to-day. I have plenty of these here, so one of them is going to fill in. Alright, so Guilbert is going to be in net for Anaheim, and we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin again. And we lost to a much lesser team than us. We lost 3-2. That one is on Abibulin, so for once we managed to limit the shots on goal, and he didn't have a good game. So we outshot Anaheim 30-17. Lubos Rob was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Ryan Smith was the second star with 2 assists. And our Irish Vitalins was the third star with a goal. 15,599 people in attendance for the game. So, 14 more people than the previous game. Right, so Steve Richin opened up the scoring for us in the first period. From Ryan Smith, it was 1-0, but then Anaheim scored twice, made it 2-1. Anaheim after 1. Then in the second period, Teppo Numminen tied the game on the power play from Ryan Smith and Mikael Anderson. It was tied at 2, but then Anaheim scored, made it 3-2. Then we went into the third period, nobody scored, and it was a 3-2 loss. Maxim Sushinsky improves at left wing. If you could improve your ratings, that would be even better. Right, so we have a few days off, and then we're going to host the Toronto Maple Leafs. So that Olmsted so far has proved to be pretty inefficient as far as point generation. Adam Denmarsh is back from suspension in Boston. Back in the lineup over there. Suspension for Ulf Samuelsson with the Penguins. He is out for a game. In a night to remember for John Leclerc with Montreal. 3 goals and an assist against the Canucks. Alright, Fedorov sits out with a day-to-day injury. So Sergei Fedorov with the injury there. And Darcy Tucker with the Oilers has been suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Samuelson suspension ends, so that his quick 1-game suspension is over. So back in the lineup for him. And Alexei Kovalev extends his go straight to 5 games with a goal against Carolina. Alright, so we are ready to play the Leafs. Toronto is actually having a decent season. They are 23-16-2. We have not played the Leafs so far this season, so let's take a look. Of course, Toronto is still in the Western Conference at this point in time. Okay, so there's a couple injuries in Toronto. So Mike Eastwood is hurt with a broken toe, and Darby Hendrickson is hurt with a ruptured tendon in his foot. So they both won't be playing this game. So in net, it's Grant Fuhr and Felix Potvin, Anders Eriksson, Todd Gill, Volk, Berard, Elliott, Lefebvre, Mironov, Modry, and D. Wendell Clark, Randy Cunneyworth, Pero Zemlichka, Sarmatin, Gilmore, Larionov, Manderville, York, Harnott, Barchevsky, and Joe Sacco up front. That team doesn't look all that good on paper, but, you know, they have a much better record than us, so what do I know? Alright, so Felix Potvin is going to be the starter for Toronto. We are still going to Nikolai Abibulin. Oh, We decided to wake up for this game and we trashed the Maple Leafs 7-3. Awesome. All right, we were outshot 40-37 in that one. Alexander McGillney was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Mikael Anderson was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Craig Conroy was the third star with a goal and an assist. 15,083 people in attendance for the game. So Toronto scored twice in the first period. Then we tied the game. So we had Craig Conroy score from Valeri Bure and Per Gustafsson, and then Mikael Nylander from German Titov and Teppo Numinen. And then Toronto scored again, so they were up 3-2 after one. It didn't look too good for us yet again. But then in the second period, Sean Chambers scored from Vili Peltonen, and then Mikael Anderson scored his 10th on the power play from Mark Bergevin and Alexander McGillney. It was 4-3 Tampa Bay after two. And then in the third period, Alexander McGillney scored from Mikael Anderson. Then Ryan Smith scored on the power play from Craig Conroy. And then Alexander McGillney from Steve Richin and Teppo Numinen. 7-3, the victory. All right, who knows? Maybe that's the one game that's going to propel us. Oh, Sergei Brilin is available. Brent Feddick and Rob Brown. Rob Brown could still be somewhat useful. What about Brillen? Yeah, Brillen could also be useful. I think I'm gonna pick Brillen. Nope. And then there's stuff going on. Kevin Stevens is suspended in Pittsburgh. He's going to miss 4 games. And Scott Niedermayer had a good game. He had a hat trick in that same game against the Pens. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see if we do get Boogie in. Yes, we do. All right. Mark Janssens has been suspended in Carolina. He's going to miss 6 games. No one could stop Zygmunt Palffy, who had 3 goals and 3 assists against Montreal. Good job, Ziggy. Good job. Ooh, Doug Waite is hurt with a fractured vertebrae in his neck. That's probably going to be lengthy at 3 months for Doug Waite. Right, so we picked up Sergei Brilin, and Brian Rafalski is primed to return. Now in real life, they were teammates in New Jersey. I think it's poor Mike Greer that's going to suffer again, unless I don't know. Craig Conroy is getting a little bit better, I think. Yeah, I think it's going to be Mike Greer that's going to suffer. There you go. And we are ready to play against the New Jersey Devils. All right, so New Jersey is a team that's been beating on us all season. They are 25-14-3. That's good for third in the East. And we are 0-3 against them this season. Really not good. Right, so Brilliant is going to play on the 4th line right now with Craig Conroy and Valeri Bure. I mean, for a 4th line, that shouldn't be, too terrible. And then on D, I mean, my D's not bad. I don't know what's going on. It's the coach. I promise, it's the coach. It's not me. I would never make a mistake. Wait, I admitted to making a mistake at the start of the video. Oh, yeah. All right, so Abby Boleyn in net for us and Martin Brodeur in net for the Devils. Yeah, we kind of need a win here. And we lost 5-3. Cannot put a W on the board with any type of consistency here. All right, so shots were equal at 37 apiece. Scott Niedermayer had another good game after the hat trick. This time he had 3 assists and he was the first star. Boris Mironov was the second star with 2 assists. And Stéphane Richer was the third star with an assist. All right, so New Jersey scored first in the first period. Then we had Bill Guerin score from Ryan Smith and Boris Mironov. And then the Devils added 2 more. It was 3-1 for the Devils after one. There was also a fight between Rudy Postchek and Bobby Ali. Then in the third period, nobody scored in the second, sorry. And then in the third, New Jersey scored to make it 4-1. Then we had Craig Conroy score on the power play from Ryan Smith. And then Alexander McGillney from Boris Mironov and Steve Ruchin. It was 4-3 at this point, but late with 8 seconds left to go in the third period. New Jersey scored in an empty net, and we lost 5-3. Yeah, there are real struggles in Tampa Bay. Oh, and Peter Sikora scored in a 5th straight game against us. And Rob Brown, whom I debated for a second on picking up on waivers, got suspended and he's going to miss 2 games. Probably the frustration of not being picked up by such a class act organization as the Tampa Bay Lightning, because we don't have a good record, right? So they would probably focus on how great of a franchise and how nice people we are or something. Oh, Darcy Tucker is back from suspension in Edmonton. And Peter Sikora scored in a 6th straight game against Pittsburgh. Alright, so back home for a little bit. We are hosting Philadelphia. They are 24-14-5. That's good for 4th in the East. And we are a paltry 1-3 against the Flyers this season. So yet again, a win would be really beautiful. Damian Rhodes is going to be in net for the Flyers, and we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. And we lost 4-1. We were outshot 27-24. Mark Recchi was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Rod Brennamore was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Kevin Haller was the third star with an assist. 15,830 people in attendance for this game. Alright, so Flyers scored first, then we tied the game. It was Robert Zvela from Steve Ruchin. Tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, the Flyers... Oh, sorry, that's a penalty. So nobody scored in the second, and then the Flyers exploded for 3 goals in the third period, so we lost 4-1. Another lackluster game from pretty much everybody in the team. On the team. And we don't have too long to feel sorry for ourselves because the Abs are in town. Montreal is 24-18-4 this season. That's good for 5th in the East. We did beat them in Montreal, the only team we played against them so far this season. So let's see if we can do it again. Patrick was going to be in net for Montreal. We're going to try to go with Johan Edberg, the Moose. And we lost 1-0. We cannot score goals. That's our biggest problem right now. We were outshot 30-29, and it is not Johan Edberg's fault that we lost. Patrick Roy was the first star of the game. 29 saves and the shutout. Teppo Numminen was the second star with no points, and John Leclerc was the third star with an assist. So Montreal scored in the first period, and that was it. And we had 14,302 people in attendance for this particular game. Yeah, I'm not having... my players are just not scoring. There's not a whole lot other than that to say. Oh, dear God. Lilo the Line got hurt for 10 months against us with a fractured skull. Rob Brown is back from suspension in Chicago. Kelly Buckberger is suspended in Edmonton. He's going to miss 4 games. Dynamic passing leads to productive night for Craig Janney. He had 4 assists against the Oilers. Pavel Bure with the Kings had a good game. 4 goals and an assist against Anaheim. And in that same game, Wayne Gretzky had 4 assists. And Fyodorov is yet again day-to-day in Detroit, so still hurt a little. Alright, Islanders are in town. They are 23-18-5, which is good for 6th in the East. We are 1-0 against the Islanders this season. Ron Extall is going to be a net for the Islanders, and we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. And we managed to win a game. Actually, it looks like a pretty good effort there. We won 4-1. We were outshot 32-27. Valery Bure was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Nikolai Abibulin was the second star with 31 saves. And Sergei Britton, whom we just picked up on waivers, was the third star with a goal and an assist. 14,115 people in attendance for the game. Craig Conroy opened up the scoring in the first period from Sergei Britton and Valery Bure. Then Sergei Britton scored his first of the season from Craig Conroy and Valery Bure. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay after one. In the second period, we had Alexander McGillney score his 20th on the power play from Mark Bergevin and Mikael Nylander. It was 3-0 at that point, and then Bobby Elick scored from Ryan Smith and Bill Guerin. 4-0 Tampa Bay after 2. And then Rob Niedermeyer scored for the Islanders in the third period. So Abibulin didn't get the shutout, but it is still a W. So we will take it. Rudy Postcheck. Oh, the ever fighter. I don't know why he's fighting so much. I do not know. Alright. Suspension over for Vincent Anfus, so he's back in the lineup. And Doug Gilmour has scored 400 goals in his career with 1 goal against the Buffalo Sabres. Doug Gilmour is 34 and he is a 3-star player. Alright. So we have 6 days off. Brad Bombardier is yet again put on waivers. Feels like it's like the 3rd or 4th time that has happened. Vladimir Antipin, no. Right, so Kevin Stevens is back from suspension with Pittsburgh. Alright, and we are ready to play against the Washington Capitals. Now, strangely enough, that's going to be our first meeting of the season against Washington. Washington is 10-35-3. That's good for dead last in the East. So let's take a look. See why they struggle so much. So Alexei Chupin is hurt, so he's not going to play. Craig Bennington and Olaf Kolzig in net. Then Kelly Johansson, Francisek Kucera, Daryl Shannon, Sergei Gonchar, Kevin Hatcher, Marek Zidlicki, Yerofeyev. The D is actually not bad. There's some decent D there. Dmitry Ristich, Steve Konowalchuk, Roberts, Thornton, Warner, Carson, Degg, Pivanka, Ridley, Todd, Bondra, Noonan, and Ramos are, up front. It's a little tougher there. Let's see if we can beat the Caps everybody else has. So Kozig is in net. And we're going to send Nikolai Abibulin. And we lost against the worst team in the East, 3-1. So again, it was our goaltending that Well, we only scored one goal, but the goaltending was not good. We did outshoot Washington 36-18. Brian Noonan was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Ryan Smith was the second star with an assist, and Sergei Gonchar was the third star with 2 assists. 15,705 people in attendance for the game. Washington scored first in the first period, and then they added 2 more in the second, so it was 3-0 Washington after 2. And then Sean Chambers scored on the power play in the third period from Ryan Smith and Bobby Elick. 3-1 Washington final score. Alright, so I just, right now, what happened is that in my head there's a little switch that turned on, and we are now at the part of the video where I'm going to try to fire my coach. Art Williams doesn't feel like there's a reason to fire him. I beg to differ, Hart. I beg to differ. Right, strong night for Pavel Bure. He had 3 goals and an assist against Florida. And now we are in Buffalo to play against the Sabres. Now Buffalo is 18-23-6. That's good for 10th in the East. And we are 1-1 against Buffalo this season. We're going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. They are going to go with the Dominator, Dominik Hasek. And we won a nice road win here, 3-2. Alright. Yep, good team effort. We outshot them 33-24. Alexander Mogilny was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Jason Daw was the second star with 2 goals, and Ryan Smith was the third star with an assist. It looks like Ryan Smith is starting to come into his own a little bit. Looks like he's getting more points and everything. So, yeah. So Mogilny opened up the scoring in the first for Mikael Anderson and Teppo Numminen. 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Buffalo tied the game, but then Mikael Nylander scored on the power play from Alexander Mogilny and Mark Bergevin. And then Sergei Britton from Ryan Smith and Vili Peltonen. 3-1 Tampa Bay after 2. Buffalo did score in the third period, but it was too little too late, and we won this 3-2. Alright, so now after playing in Buffalo like that, we are going to go and play in Toronto. We played the Leafs earlier this month, and it was a very gratifying 7-3 win, something I had not experienced in a while, given our really tough season there. So Toronto is now 25-19-3. That's 2 games in 2 nights for us, so let's see how we respond. So we're going to send Johan Edberg in net, and they're going to go with Grant Fuhr. And we lost 5-2. Oh yeah, we were completely dominated in shots, 41-19. Nikolai Borchevsky was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 3 assists. Doug Gilmour was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Harry York was the third star with a goal. Alright, so nobody scored in the first. Then in the second, Toronto scored, and then we tied the game. Bobby Elick scored from Mikael Anderson and Alexander Karpovtsov. Tied at 1 at that point, and then Toronto scored again, made it 2-1 after 2. Then in the third period, Toronto scored again, made it 3-1. Then we came to within 1. Bobby Elick scored his second goal of the game from Teppo Numminen. 3-2 Toronto, but then they scored 2 more times, and we lost 5-2. Brad Bombardier is getting his weekly trip to the waiver wire, and Bob Basson is also available, not picking those guys up. Mark Janssens is back from suspension in Carolina. Peter Sikora is suspended with the Devils. He's going to miss 4 games. And Kelly Buckberger is back from his own suspension with the Oilers, back in the lineup. Oh, Well, why not? And this time they have added Jan Benda to the waiver wire on top of Bob Bassett and Brad Bombardier. So we're going to be playing in Ottawa against the Sens. Ottawa is 18, 24, and 8. That's good for 9th in the East. We are 1-1 against the Sens this season. All right, so we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin, and the Sens are going to go with Darren Pupa. And we lost 5-2. Yikes. We were yet again completely dominated, 46-23 in the shot. Sylvain Turgeon was the first star of the game with a goal and 2 assists. Lubomir Sekerash was the second star with an assist, and Alexei Yashin was the third star with a goal. Ryan Smith opened up the scoring in the first. That was his 15th of the season from Bobby Olick and Mark Bergevin, but then Ottawa tied the game, so it was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, Ottawa scored twice, made it 3-1 Ottawa after 2. They made it 4-1 at about midway into the third period. Then Bill Guerin scored his 10th from Ryan Smith, made it 4-2, but then Ottawa scored in an empty net at the end of the game, and we lost 5-2. Yeah, I think that this season is a lost season. I don't think we're going to turn this around, so we might as well get as high a pick as we can and hope the pick can play in the NHL pretty soon, because our timeline or our time limit is coming pretty quickly. All right, so Carolina is in town now. And there's only 2 games left this month, so the next game is going to be against the Panthers. That's going to be our 2D game of the video. All right, so Carolina in town, they are 15, 32, and 5. That's good for 12th in the East. We are 1-0-1 against the Hurricanes this season. Sean Burke is going to be the goaltender for Carolina, and we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. And we lost 5-4, so pretty common theme. We lost. However, we did get the best on the shots here. So again, our goaltending was not good enough. We outshot Carolina 36-20. Patrick Poulin was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Teppo Numminen was the second star with 2 assists, and Eric Weinrich was the third star with 2 assists as well. 14,733 people in attendance for this game. Right, so the Hurricanes took a 3-0 lead into the first period. Then we scored twice. Mikael Nylander scored his 5th from Mark Bergevin, and then Steve Rutschin scored from Teppo Numminen. But then Carolina scored back, so it was 4-2 Carolina after 1. Then in the second period, Mikael Nylander scored on the power play from Alexander Mogilny and Mikael Anderson. It was 4-3 for Carolina after 2. And then Carolina scored at the start of the third, made it 5-3. Then with a little less than 5 minutes left to go in the third, Sergei Brilin scored from Teppo Numminen and Valeri Bure, 5-4. Carolina at that point, we could never tie the game, so we lost again. Oh! Tampa Bay coaching change coming. Yeah, if they're going to let me fire him. Murray Craven played in his 1000th game against us in that win. Didn't get a point though. So Murray Craven played in 1,000 games. He is 33 years old and he is a star and a half player. Let's go and see if they're gonna let me fire him now. Yes, let's. Yes, they're letting me fire John Muckler. I'm gonna mute and no, I'm not gonna scream or anything. But oh my god, yes, it's not been working with John Muckler. So let's go ahead and get us somebody that can potentially. I don't need an owner. Yeah. Why not? Let's go ahead and see what's there. All right, so let's look at that. Michael Todd could maybe be okay. Maybe Paul York. Oh, Paul York, are you gonna be my guy? Oh. Alright, let me pause here and let me look at that a little bit more, and I will be right back. Or not, there's not a pause button for some reason. Huh. Okay. Well, that's not good. I'm gonna need to look at that at a later time, but yeah, usually there's a little pause button, but I'm on my new computer now and I'm not seeing it. So that means I might make a little bit of a rushed decision then. Maybe Patrick McDonald? What do you say there? You're not exactly the best, huh? I might get this guy just because of his last name. Tactics. Not enough discipline. That sucks. Not enough discipline. I want a guy that's able to keep my guys. That's able to keep my guys honest. I think I'm gonna go with Paul York. I'm gonna try Paul York. There you go. I'm not getting burnt again. I'm only signing you for 2 seasons. Okay. Alright, so let's see if it's gonna make a difference here for our last. Yeah, there's gonna be 1 game left here. Ooh, that's gonna hurt Boston. Ray Bork is out for 3 months with a torn posterior cruciate ligament, torn PCL. Then Larry Murphy got 1,200 points in his career with 2 assists. And that happened against Boston in that game. So Larry Murphy, 36 years old, is still a 3-star player. All right. And we are now at the last game of the month. So we are going to be playing here against the Florida Panthers in Florida. That's going to be the 2D game. We are 0-1-1 against the Panthers this season. They are now 22-23-8, and they are 8 in the East. So let's play our first game with our new coach here. All right, let's go ahead and start this here. And let's take a look at that here. Okay, now of course, go Lightning, go. Gonna go ahead and mute my microphone since I cannot pause, and I will be right back. Alright, and I am back. Sorry about that. Hopefully you haven't had that screen here for too long. So apparently we took a penalty. German Titov for tripping. Alright. So now we got to kill that penalty. We are in white, obviously. You probably figured that out without me. Alright, oh my god, he's not too fast, huh? Not going too quickly there. Oh. Ooh. Oh, that's not good. Looks like I'm going to need to put him on the injured reserve after the game. Fractured tibia for Alexander Karpovtsev. Wow. so much going on. Oh my god, it's going so slow. Can I speed that up? Nope, that's as fast as it's gonna be, huh? Yeah, that might be the last 2D game that I'm gonna show. I've shown plenty, and they've gone to a much slower pace now. And honestly, I can't find much to see during them or anything like that. So I don't know. That might be the last one. Try and keep videos shorter. Oh, couldn't even score on that. That was like an empty net. For some reason, that was enticing. All right. Come on, little square. Go score a goal. All right. Come on. Stop him. Terry Cartner took a penalty for Florida. It looks like we're going to go on the power play here with 6:58 left to go, or 6:54. Puck out of play. Yeah, we didn't score on that power play. All right. It's kind of a lost season, so honestly, I don't really care if we win or not. I don't think we're going to be able to make it all the way up to the playoffs. We're like 15 points behind or something, so it's not going to happen. We got stopped there. All right, so the first period is over. Abibulin faced 7 shots. Lakers faced 9. Yep. All right, let's go for the second period. Hopefully, there's a bit more action here. In case you're still awake, it is still 0-0 here in the second period between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. Jerome McGinley took a tripping penalty. Well, we are now going on the power play. We didn't score on the first one. Oh, Mikael Anderson took a penalty here. So now we are killing a penalty. Of course, we didn't score on our power play. Come on. Alright, so only about 10 seconds left to go on that power play. Oh, there was a fight between Per Gustafsson and Bob Rouse. Alright. Alright. Not a whole lot going on, so I'm sorry if I'm being very silent. I just kind of, following the little guys, just like you are. Little squares, really. Not sure who number 8 is for Florida, but he's always like around our net or something. The play-by-play. Oh, it's Niklas Sundstrom. That's who it is. Alright, so Niklas Anderson took a penalty, so we are going on the power play with 6:56 left to go here in the second period. Still no score. Oh, Brian Rafalski got into a fight. Really? Who did you fight, buddy? Is that Steve Smith? Alright, so well, at least with our new coach, we are not allowing many goals. But with our new coach, we're also not scoring many goals. Steve Richin, ice ticking. Oh boy. Alright, so we're going on the penalty kill now. Ooh, German Sita with a slashing now is going to be 5-on-3. Yikes, for at least a minute 34. Wait, what's going on here? Okay. Something went wrong. We were supposed to be down 5-on-3, but I think it got messed up because of the fight or something. I don't know. Like 5-on-5. Second period's almost over. 25 seconds left here. Alright, so Laker faced 19 shots. He stopped them all. Abibulin faced 12 shots. He stopped them all. We're going into the third period. And it is a 0-0 affair here in Florida. I believe the games in Florida are played in Sunrise, so that's where we would be right now. Alright. Come on, man. Score me a goal. Make your GM proud. Oh. Your GM and your new coach. If you score a goal, maybe he's going to put you on the first line. Alright. Oh, that reminds me a lot of the very first 2D game that I made, which ended up as a 0-0 tie. Almost looks like that's where we're gonna go. Oh, that was an interception there. Of course, we lost the puck right back, but and Mark Bergeron with the slashing here with 7:15 left to go in the third period, and we are sending the Panthers on the power play. That ain't good. Alright, they still have a tiny bit of time left on the power play, but looks like we're controlling the puck. Oh, and then we missed the shot altogether. Alright, about 5 minutes left to go here in the third period. Still no score. Alright. Last minute of play in the third period. Oh, Ryan Smith took a hooking penalty just to make sure that we don't really have a 5-on-5 chance to score before the end of the period. Alright, so we are going into overtime. No score. Abby Bullen stopped 21 shots. Lakers top 27. That's really all there is to say about this game. Oh, Karpovtsev got a broken tibia, so he's going to be out for a while. And that's pretty much it. Right, Panthers are still on the power play for just a little bit more. Alright, that's over. Alright, so now 5-on-5. Because yes, in 1998, overtime is still 5-on-5 with only a 5 minute to go. No shootout. Oh, Sean Chambers took a slashing penalty, so we are taking all the penalties, huh? Alright. Well, that didn't take long. Alright, so Florida finally scored on the power play in overtime, so we lost 1-0. We outshot Florida 28-22. Blaine Laker, first star. McGillney, second star. Schmelik, third star with an assist. So who was it exactly that scored? It was Iginla on the power play from Schmelik and Kenny Janssen. There you go. And yeah, we saw that Karpovtsev got hurt. 2 to 3 months. Alright, so Ben Hughes for Tampa Bay. Karpovtsev is injured. Alright. Peter Sikora is back from suspension in New Jersey. Alright. Bill Lindsay is suspended in Dallas. He's going to miss 7 games. Doug Friedman is suspended in St. Louis. He's going to miss 4 games. Brett Hall had a great game in that same game. He had a hat trick against Dallas. Right, and the players of the month were Zygmunt Puffy and Andy Moog. Names that we are not that used to seeing into this playthrough here. So how dire is our situation? We are 17 points behind 8th place. So I think it's safe to say that we are not going to be in the playoffs this season, which sucks. Now, with that being said, it is February, so then before the start of the next video, I'm going to decide who I am resigning and who I am not resigning. And since I am going to be not making the playoffs, I'm going to try to get some assets out of players that I am not going to be bringing back. Because usually players that I don't want to bring back, I also need to keep on the roster for the playoff push. But there's not going to be any playoffs this year, so I am going to try to recoup what I can. Oh, I need to take care of Karpovtsev before I finish the video, or else I'm going to forget. I think I'm getting Mike Greer back up. Because I had 2 extra Ds, so now I have 1 extra D. And then 2 extra forwards. Alrighty, so yeah, we're 11th in the East, 17 points out of a playoff spot, so that's not gonna happen for us this year. In the West, Detroit is first, then Colorado, Vancouver, Toronto, San Jose, Chicago, Phoenix, and St. Louis. Worst team in the league is Anaheim, and we lost to them this month. They have 23 points. Right, so far our stats, I don't think we're going to look too good here. We can barely score goals. So we have McGillney with 34 points in 52 games, then 33 points for Ryan Smith. That's what I said. He's starting to pick the pace up a little. Ryan Smith is probably never going to be a point per game player, but yeah, he's starting to be a little bit more in line with the kind of stats that we should expect from him. Mikael Anderson, Ruchin, Numanen, yeah, then it just goes down, so nobody is all that great on the team. Then in the league, Mario Lemieux is first in goals with 38. Wayne Gretzky is the best passer with 46. And the best player is Mario Lemieux with a 16-point lead with 80 points. Mark Recchi is second with 64. All right. Oh, goaltenders. Let's see here. Yeah, Abby Bullen has been okay, but he has not been good enough for us to, he's not showing up in most of those categories here. So yeah, he hasn't been doing good enough. Alrighty, folks. So definitely gonna be a different approach here for like the rest of the season. We are not used to not be in the playoffs, so we'll see what happens. I'm definitely gonna be a little bit more stingy about who I am bringing back and who I am letting go of the team out of everybody that has an expiring contract. But anyway, so that's it for today, folks. As usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video and that you would like to help support the channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.